21-year-old man will appear in court today. He was arrested after 6 decomposing bodies were found in and around an abandoned Joburg warehouse. It's believed the women were sex workers. eNCA senior reporter Aviwe Mtila is watching this case for us and joins us this morning. Good morning, Aviwe. Honestly, a very horrific story that we all learnt of yesterday. What a gruesome find. I see eNCA Gender Justice is there. We know there are several activists today. What are they saying following the discovery, and particularly the allegation that these were in fact sex workers?
Yes, indeed. 6 bodies that are believed to be sex workers discovered on Sunday in Johannesburg Central. Of course, it is alleged that this 21-year-old is the one that committed that gruesome crime. We do, of course, understand is now facing 6 counts of murder. That's the murder of Angie, Lizzie, Nyasha, Joyce, Maria, as well as 2 sex workers around Johannesburg. And you can see behind us is the Sisonke sex worker movement comprising of sex workers. In fact, their spokesperson now is addressing the media. I'll just come close to get a better sense of what's going to happen here.
One of the justice that we want to see in this case is to make sure this guy must be a turning point in terms of the law reform. We're going to use this case to make sure that we make the biggest noise ever, regardless of these 6 women, when either sex workers or not, but we're talking women who are dead. This is a massacre in terms of the sex work industry. It's a blow. And if our politicians are going to be sitting wearing Gucci's and Louis Vuittons and arguing about who's taking what position, and they are playing the reshuffle game, come 2024, when the gender-based and femicide plan says that sex work must be decriminalized, it's only a time frame. We are not sure. You know, now they're going to the biggest conference in the country. It's coming in December. I won't mention because I want to give them credit. It's coming in December. Anything might happen. They're going to still say the resolution from this conference, it says the sex work should be considered to be decriminalized. I was with COSATU when they were launching their gender inauguration plan. Where like, I challenged COSATU that COSATU, you've been keeping quiet on sex work, but it's there in your resolution to say you want to see sex work being decriminalized. At one point, somebody needs to be held accountable. Say, but who do we hold accountable? Because it might come that by December, Ramaphosa might be out. The new president might come with his new cabinet. We're starting from scratch again to say, at what point are the voices of women that are getting murdered, that are getting raped, that the police also are preying on them, they're going to be listened to?
I understand, Katleko, you were with the families yesterday. How are they doing? And maybe also tell us if any sex workers have come forward around the harassment around this particular gentleman.
So now the more sex workers, after the identification of bodies yesterday, then we went with some of the sex workers to the police so that they can also go to the crime scene, because there are also those who survived, like they've got scars to say, this particular man did this, you see this scar, this particular man. So we will also say, we are encouraging them to say, come forth, bring your stories, we believe in you. Then that's what the investigation is going to be telling, because we are suspecting, because based on what we heard yesterday, it's more than 13 women that are missing. So out of 13, only 6 is being identified. So moving forward, we're asking every woman, regardless, let's all put our moral and gender and religion and culture on the floor. Women are being murdered for survival and meat in South Africa.
And how are sex feeling on the ground around what has happened? What is the sentiment around some of the colleagues behind you?
Literally, they were like, we do not feel safe. We do not feel safe. We only feel safe if we're wearing the regalia of Sisonke. Because at least somebody can start say, oh, because you're wearing orange now, I'm aware that you belong to a certain association or a group of people. That's where now the safety is. They were quite traumatized. And now as the movement, we have arranged what we call the counseling sessions, so that everyone that feels that, and they need to speak out. Because remember, these are women that nobody actually, society takes a very low at them. But we have arranged counseling to say, come forth. We are working closely with the police, also the one that investigate the case, to make sure that those who are ready to speak out, to say, I am next, I feel I'm not safe, I feel this guy did the same to me. Come, bring your stories. Let's add more volume to the case, so that at the end of the day, this guy must be a learning curve in the law reform of the country, to say, if this is not being considered, we cannot wait for 2024. There are no guarantees when sex work might be decriminalized through the gender-based violence plan and femicide.
What do we know about this 21-year-old gentleman and this panel beating workshop?
From the information gathered yesterday, all they know that after COVID, he used to be just a security guard, and then from there, business didn't go well. Then from there, he started kind of like, making sure the property is safe. So it's somebody well known to the ladies that does sex work around the area. That's all we know. We haven't yet even know his name, his nationality. All we know, we're waiting for the court to reveal such information.
And I understand yesterday I mentioned you were with the families of Maria, Joyce, and some of these 6 body sex workers that were found. How are the families doing?
The family, they're quite traumatized. And, the traumatic experience is some of them, they just find out through the media that, wow, my sister was in Joburg and she was doing this. So literally, our council is going to go beyond even just only counseling friends and others, but also we're going to make sure that the family, if they're prepared to come and be counseled, we will hire specialized counselors so that also the family can also have some closure. And we're going to make sure that we mobilize as many sex workers. We're going to unmask sex workers through this case, because we all know that in South Africa, for sex work to appear on your TVs, they must always be hidden. This is one of the campaigns we're going to be starting with. We're going to unmask. You must see real people talking their real stories.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Aviwe Mtila is the spokesperson of the Sisonke sex worker movement. Of course, behind Katlego is some of the sex workers that some of them say that they have actually been harassed by this 21-year-old who is to appear at the Johannesburg Magistrate Court here. Some gruesome details coming out from Katlego there, mentioning that it's not only the 6 bodies that were discovered on Sunday that are missing. We do understand he mentions 13 in total. Other sex workers that are still missing. So a lot still needs to be unearthed as to exactly what happened and what role this 21-year-old that is facing 6 counts of murder played in this gruesome murders.
A very, very disturbing story. Aviwe will leave it there for now and catch up with you as soon as he does make his appearance. That's senior reporter Aviwe Mtila on that particular story for us.